Jimmy O from JoBlo. Matt, it's excellent to see you again.
It's great to see you. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm going to jump right into this because we've been excited for this film for a long time, especially knowing you were involved. And there was a lot of speculation whether you were going to go down year one, The Dark Knight Returns, The Long Halloween. And even, watching it, I'm like Zodiac,
Huh?
like it's a
Totally.
very, what ended up being the most important inspiration for you to tell this story?
Well, I would say in terms of year one, there was something in my deep dive of that where reading it gave me an answer to tone and to a feasibility of concept. This idea of, there's something in the comic where Bruce needs to go to the East End just kind of scoping things out, and he puts a scar on his face, and he's got this kind of bomber jacket he puts on and a knit cap. And in the notes, Frank Miller wrote to Mazzucchelli in the commemorative edition, you can read, he said, in this scene, it should look like Bruce has won the Travis Bickle lookalike contest. And that kind of tone of trying to make it sort of feel really plausible, how believable, because you can't go around as Bruce Wayne because you'll be recognized.
Yeah.
You also can't go around in a bat suit because people will see you coming a mile away. So that doesn't work either. And so that thing really kind of opened it up. And that idea, look, I came of age really on the era of movies that he was talking about there, Taxi Driver and French Connection and all those things. Those were the movies of, my youth. And I kind of felt like it opened up that side too, the idea of doing a kind of gothic neo-noir, kind of like a 70s movie. So there was something about that comic book that kind of brought out a lot of tones. But, absolutely, the other critical one was The Long Halloween. And Jeff Loeb was my screenwriting teacher, actually. At USC, he was the one who told me that I should become a writer, which is so interesting when I was in his class. And he was like, you got to petition and get all of I was at undergrad, and he was like, you got to get into all my grad level classes. And so he was an inspiration to me. And that was a big one because that was one that led to the Zodiac side of it because it was a serial killer story.
Yeah.
And so, it's kind of like you draw from all these things. There isn't any one thing. It's kind of like I consider the creative process to be like you're in a dark room, you can't see a thing, you're on hands and knees, and you crawl about, feeling about all the things you need are somewhere in that room. And as you touch the thing that resonates with you, you find it and you pull it to you, and you start bringing it all together. And I kind of feel like I did a deep dive in so many different ways reading. I mean, I reread All the President's Men and that idea and rewatched that movie because the tone of this being about conspiracy and like how high does the corruption go, and Watergate, and the idea that maybe Batman and Gordon could be a little bit of Woodward and Bernstein, like all this kind of stuff informed the movie. And then once you've got that, it kind of goes away, right? So you use all of that. It's the raw material that inspires you. You try to make it as personal as possible, and then it just comes out the way that it comes out. So all those things that you mentioned, they were all inspirations. I mean, also one you didn't mention that I've said, but I think is a really important one, was Darwin Cook's Ego, because that one is very much into the psychology of Batman and that aspect of it, the idea of him dealing with the kind of shadow side and the beast within, Batman being a beast within him. Yeah. And I think this early days Batman, I wanted him to be not in control. I felt like he should be driven more by his shadow side than he was even aware of, that he thinks he's doing something for the city, but he's really doing it because he can't figure out any other way to make sense of his life. And I thought that would be an interesting kind of drive. So there were many, many sort of inspirations for the story.
Well, unfortunately we got to wrap it up already.
All right, I'm sorry. Gee,
dude, I know,
long answer to your question.
It was a great answer, and honestly, it's a brilliant film. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Good seeing you, brother.
Bruce Wayne.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't be bothering you here, but your people keep telling me you're unavailable. You know, you really could be doing more for this city. Your family has a history of philanthropy, but as far as I can tell, you're not doing anything.
Riddler is asking for you.
The killer left this for the Batman. Why is he writing to you?
You came. I've been trying to reach you.
Riddler's latest. It's all about the Waynes. If we don't stand up, no one will.
You got a lot of cats.
I have a thing about strays. The bat and the cat. It's got a nice ring.
You a new friend of yours?
I'm not so sure. I'm just here to unmask the truth about this cesspool we call a city. You're part of this too.
Stay still!
How am I a part of this? Oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were. Bruce Wayne. All these years, you lied to me, Alfred. We all have our scars, Bruce.
He's still away.
He's involved in this?
No, he's not involved.
How do you know? He's a vigilante!
Who are you under there? What are you hiding?
Selena, don't throw your life away.
Don't worry, honey. I got 9 of them.
It can be cruel, poetic, or blind. But when it's denied, it's through violence you may find.
Justice. The answer's justice.
Come on, vengeance. Let's get into some trouble.